fellas, we can be that mistake. Let's do this.
What's up, y'all?
What's going on, guys?
We're Embrace the Suck 21.
Yes, we are.
I'm Spencer.
And I'm Daniel.
We're coming at you. We've done some sidecar racing videos before, but it's been a very long while.
Yeah, and the one we did was more like a point of view.
Yeah,
like
more of a ride along than
like a
anything
GoPro.
else. Yeah, just up on there.
So hopefully this is just, it's different. Hopefully this is different.
Yeah, but from what we see in the description, this is still on the Isle of Man, so
Yeah.
probably the same course as the Tourist Trophy.
Yep.
So
Sidecar.
yeah,
You know,
three-wheeling as it's called right there.
Yeah, so relatively new beast to the channel.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Because one other one, and that really didn't capture what it was.
Yeah.
So this might do better.
Let's see. Only one way to find out.
This is sidecar racing and it's absolutely crazy. They are three-wheeled bikes that can hit 160 miles an hour on the residential streets of the Isle of Man. But what's incredible is that it takes two people to drive this thing. One on the controls and one manipulating the balance of the bike. And controlling this thing at that sort of speed with walls, curbs and blind crests must be terrifying. But not as much as being the passenger whilst doing that. So today, let me explain the engineering and the insane driving skill behind sidecar racing.
Okay.
See, I'm here for this.
Yeah. So that was definitely, I saw the guy reaching over. We definitely saw that in the other video. Yep. So this is definitely, we've gotten this right so far.
I'm here for the hows.
Mm-hmm.
And whys.
Yeah.
Well, the why is to win.
Yeah, to win.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I got that.
Yeah, let's go.
This is a Formula 2 sidecar, around 130 horsepower, 350 kilograms, including the riders, and a top speed of well over 160 miles per hour. They run standard 600cc 4-stroke bike engines and racing slicks. The speed they travel at is honestly astonishing. Now, sidecar racing is huge, with many different classes and events, from circuits like Brands Hatch and Alton Park to the scariest of them all, the Isle of Man Snaefell Mountain Course. The Isle of Man, statistically the most dangerous races in the world, and by quite some margin. The number of horrific crashes is endless, but despite this, hundreds of racers across bikes, superbikes and sidecars rock up every year to take it on. And whilst I do moan about organisers making tracks too sterile at the moment with massive runoffs, the risks at the TT are far higher than I personally would take. One misjudgment or one mechanical failure could send you off a hill or into a brick wall. The track weaves through tight island roads for 38 miles with tight sections and more open, weaving sections where riders are flat out for minutes at a time. These sidecars manage an average of 120 miles per hour around these 200 turns. And to put this into perspective, the top class of superbikes, which are far lighter, manage this with a 130 miles per hour average. The TT is a time trial event that is held over a fortnight. 1 week of practice, and you're going to need every minute of that, and a week of races. They set the riders off 10 seconds apart. So whilst you are racing the clock, if you're quick, you have to put in some ballsy overtakes too. If you want to see loads of quality footage on this, check out the Three-Wheeling channel linked below. And thank you to them for supplying a lot of the footage for this video. And this track.
All right.
Wow.
Now, I mean, obviously we knew that the course of the Isle of Man TT
has claimed many
lives. That's why a couple people have asked us not to do any more of the TT.
And understandably so.
Yeah. So we're definitely shying away from that this year, but this is a completely different thing.
Yeah, this is sidecar racing.
Yeah. So
equally as dangerous.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
And, like, no shit.
Yeah.
You know. And I think he has a point. Like, you know, part of the racing world is that thing. Whatever that thing is.
Yeah.
It's that intensity. Well, when like as he brought up, the tracks are too sterile.
Yeah.
It lessens the intensity. It's
Yeah,
just-
yeah, with runoffs.
It's not.
Yeah.
You know, there's no risks.
Yeah, not as much risk with.
I mean, there's still risks. Any
Of course.
motorsport, like you would say, there's risks.
Yeah, but not as much with what he calls a sterile track, which
Yeah.
has runoffs. Which now I'm starting to get why they are calling a few road courses sterile. Which, as someone who's coming from a NASCAR fan and is now NASCAR is starting to add more road courses, which to that series is completely not sterile at all. It's not the cookie cutter mile and a halves. Now I'm starting to understand what a sterile road course is.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. So there's something completely like white bread, just
yeah, no risk.
just
Yeah,
right?
you're not gonna hit the wall or go into a sand trap.
Yeah.
But this, you could get killed.
Yeah.
At least with the Taurus trophy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Track would be terrifying in a car with 4 wheels and a roll cage, 1 driver, and the ability to take left and right-handed corners at the same sort of speed. But sidecars have none of these things. But before we get into it, some lingo. The sidecar itself is called an outfit. The person on the right is called the driver, and the madman who's hanging off the side is called a passenger. Anyway, from an engineering perspective, what makes these sidecars unusual is that they aren't symmetrical. They have 2 wheels in line and then 1 on the side. So when I'm driving on track, whether it's in Caterhams or Formula 1 cars, you get a feel for the car's cornering ability and then apply this to both left-handers and right-handers. However, these sidecars actually take right-handers far quicker than left-handers. And this is down to, in right-handers, the outfit leaning on that sidecar wheel, where in left-handers, the whole thing wants to tip over. Years ago, these outfits used to look more like a bike and sidecar.
Holy
However,
crap!
now they are bespoke racing units with advanced aero and much improved performance. They are powered by a single rear wheel, the one behind the driver, and are steered by the front wheel through some very small handlebars. They can also outbrake superbikes down to the huge slick tyres and the enormous car brakes that stop all 3 wheels. And look here, they use flat racing tyres rather than the rounded bike tyres, so they have a much larger contact patch.
Wow.
So more grip in the corners and especially on the brakes. Now to the question I'm sure you're all wondering. What about the dude on the back? Well, they are called passengers, or more casually, monkeys. And that kind of makes sense. These guys have to be incredibly fit just to hold on at these speeds and G-forces. Their role is to maintain the balance of the outfit. Without them, the sidecar just wouldn't work. It would be
Wow, that is like balls of steel right there.
Dude.
To keep it balanced. Now I see what they're doing. They're coming over to make sure this thing stays on the ground.
Did that guy just say they're basically inoperable without the dude?
Yeah.
Like, it won't drive right without someone counterbalancing?
I mean, it'll drive. It's just, it'll flip over when you make I would assume a left-hander? A left-hander. Yeah. A right-hander, you're fine. Left-hander, you're toast. You're upside down on your head.
NASCAR. Get some ideas. Let's see that.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
minutes a lap slower around the TT course. So they cling on, staying out of the airflow on the straights and hang off either side around the corners, essentially making up for the uneven handling of the sidecar. Around right-handers, they climb over the top of the driver to keep the weight on the inside tyres. Then on left-handers, they hand precariously over the side of the bike. And this is the bit that looks the most sketchy. They very often skid their backs along the surface of the track and can even get knocked off if the driver gets it wrong. Along the straights, they duck out of the airflow, then pop up in the braking zones to add as much drag as possible. Then as the driver turns into the corner, they have to quickly but carefully get in position so that the bike sticks. So in a car, you trail brake into the corner, meaning you gently release the brake pressure as you enter. This is all to transfer the weight of the car as gently as possible. On a sidecar, the driver is still doing this, but with the added component of another person moving around too.
Wow. So the passenger or the monkey acts as a counterweight and as a counter, like an aerodynamic force on the sidecar.
That's freaking mental, dude.
I would never. You couldn't pay me enough. No.
Could you imagine our sidecars? They would just be dragging.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I just, because he mentioned something that I feel like he went over too quick. The G-force that they're experiencing, not on the thing, but maneuvering around. It's not like that air is just still.
Right.
It's hitting you just as fast as you're cutting through it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's like trying to move around in a fucking hurricane.
Yeah. Whew-wee.
Like the whole point, the whole physics of this is to throw them off the bike.
Right.
Physics and common sense wants to take that guy and delete him.
Yeah, just throw him off the mountain.
And he's clinging on for dear fucking life.
Oh yeah.
Both of them are, technically.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
It must be so tough to coordinate these two things perfectly. Some passengers even count or feel the bumps. Also, they don't need to pop their head up to see when the next corner is coming, which around a 38-mile lap is mighty impressive. As you can imagine, it takes enormous trust from both parties. The driver has to trust that the passenger will be in place to give him grip when he needs it. Then the passenger has to trust the driver that he's got his estimations right. The passengers hold on to a few specific handles. The main one is in the center of the bike. The riders hold this through the highest G sections, the braking zones, where they have to be up pretty high on the bike whilst the driver is on the anchors. Then there are several smaller holds around the sidecar for the cornering sections, as well as a specially shaped platform with places for the passenger to jam their foot in for grip. It really is like rock climbing at 150 miles per hour. Now, what I find mad is also what the driver has to do. It's not like a car where the grip is more predictable and the balance of the car is pretty steady. The most a car changes is when the tyres wear or the fuel burns off, both of which happen slowly and predictably. But on these bikes, if the passenger isn't in the right place at exactly the right time, the bike won't have the grips you expect it to. There really are two people steering these sidecars.
Wow. That's just a whole other level, is that not only do you have to be in the right position, you got to get in the exact position, not just, half-ass this thing.
Oh my God, it's like a bobsled on steroids.
Yeah. And what he was saying, about, in a regular car, like the fuel will burn off, the tires will wear out, but those are kind of predictable. And this is completely unpredictable.
Because if you're not at your spot at the right time, I'm not hitting my marks at the right time. Therefore, everything is mistimed.
Oh, yeah. And we're flipping over.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
No way.
Hell no.
It's too much stress.
The thing I can't get over is the enormous risk that every driver takes on this track. Many of the riders have rituals where they hug their families every time they get on the bike at this track, even in practice. There are too many crashes, many of which are tragic, so you can imagine the nerves when sat at that start line. But as we all know, all motorsport can be dangerous, and we go into it knowing the risks. The skill, composure, and dedication from these riders demands huge respect. One thing I had to find out was, how do you build up to doing this? How do you first learn the ropes in hanging off the side of a sidecar at silly speeds?
Yeah.
Well, just like what karting is to single-seaters, miniature sidecars is to sidecars.
Oh
These
my
are
God.
awesome. They are called mini F1 sidecars and they race on kart circuits. The racing is brilliant with some awesome battles and some massive sends. You can really see how the passengers move the way around, getting on the inside of each corner, hanging way off the side of the outfit.
My God.
So it's like there's a minor league.
Yeah, there's a minor league.
Like to everything.
Yeah, like every motorsport has a minor league.
But that's a very specific.
Yeah.
That's a very specific, like, go-karting can transfer to a lot of things.
It can.
Go-kart knowledge can transfer to like, yeah, whatever, fucking motorsports.
Yeah, F1 mostly, but also to NASCAR, to other motorcycle racing.
Yep.
IMSA, IndyCar.
But that is like...
That's its own thing.
That's like, you graduate here, you're the best here, well now, you go pro.
Yeah.
There's no... God damn.
Dang. That's crazy,
That's
man.
a huge step, too.
Yeah.
From go-karting to Isle of Man,
Yeah.
passengering.
Yeah. Not enough money in the world for that.
And I want to know if there are people that have done both, or is that like part of a thing? Like, would a passenger ever become a driver, or is it like, yo, you got a quarterback and a running back?
Yeah.
They never swap.
They never. No.
It's like, you are a driver, you are passenger forever.
Yeah.
That is it.
That is your thing.
Yeah.
My God. Yo, so who's this guy? Driver61, 2 thumbs up to you. Great video.
Yeah, man.
Very informative. Congrats on 700K.
Hey, man.
That's awesome,
Hey,
man.
that's pretty badass.
And
man.
I guess he'll be back on the channel.
Yeah.
We got world's fastest go-kart
I
racing here.
love how he did it. He broke down like the science.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, there's probably hours and hours upon hours of videos describing the science.
Oh yeah.
Because it's all science.
Oh yeah.
It's all science. So this is very informative.
Yeah.
This is a great like beginners look into.
Yeah, like a good crash course.
Yeah.
But
No
for lack
pun
of a better
intended.
term.
Yeah.
Better term. A good starter pack. That's
Yeah.
the right word.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
you were ever out there on the internet wondering, what is it like? This is a good video.
Yeah, that's a good place to start. At
Amen.
least I'm thinking it.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think.
Definitely.
Yeah, and thanks for liking, commenting, subscribing, hit that bell, and sharing with your friends.
Hell yeah, guys.
Till next time, wash your hands, scrub your toes, wipe your ass, blow your nose, embrace the suck.
And unplug and do something epic.
See you next time.
Later.